Jai Advaita Chandra Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So, can somebody start to read?
Ratna, you want to read? Because I see my voice is still bad. I'm still not fully
His
recovered.
voice is not very strong still.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
Ratna?
if they are not available, then I can read. Is Neha or Ratna available to read? Maybe I can read them.
Hare Krishna. No, I am going to drop because today is Wednesday. Yeah.
No problem. No worries. So understanding the Vedanta Sutra by academic knowledge never enables one to understand the value of the transcendental vibration. People who are entangled in academic knowledge are conditioned souls who are confused about the facts of I and mine understanding. Consequently, they are unable to detach their minds from the external energy. When a person actually attains transcendental knowledge, he becomes free from this duality and engages in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is pointing out that, if we just try by our mind to understand the transcendental, we will never be able to understand. Why? Because our minds are limited. They are material after all. We have 4 defects. Our perception is wrong. Our knowledge is incomplete. So that's the reason. We cannot just rely on our mind that, oh, I will understand. We have to hear, engage in devotional service. And what happens that when one actually receives transcendental knowledge, when one really receives transcendental knowledge, he engages in transcendental service. Because knowledge doesn't mean just to receive, but you have to apply the knowledge. So that's why I said when one actually attains, means when one has actually realized this transcendental knowledge, then he'll apply the knowledge. What is the application of knowledge? Engaging in devotional service. The Lord's service is the only means by which one can become detached from material activities. So, whatever we are seeing, experiencing, it's all the external energy. It's the material world, it's the material energy. How can we get detached? We say, oh, I want to leave the world, I want to be detached, I want to give up. But our experience, how can we give up? We are so attached. The only way we can give up is engaging in devotional service. The more we hear, chant, remember the Lord, worship the deity, cleanse the temple, cook for the Lord, to that degree, we become detached from material activities. It works in proportion. Ye yathamam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one surrender, so I reward accordingly. So the more we engage in devotional activities, the more we get detached from the material world. A person properly initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, gradually becomes freed from the conception of I and mine and becomes attached to the Lord's transcendental loving service in one of the 5 transcendental relationships. So chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, gradually we can get free from this bodily concept, I and mine, that's based on the body. and then gradually one can be actually situated in one of we each have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. Each of us. It's not that just a few people, few community, certain community or certain species of people, living entities have this relationship with Krishna. Each and everyone has it. Such transcendental service
And
is not a subject matter for
sorry,
growth. Yes.
yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Also, it is said, right, that when once you engage in transcendental loving service with the Lord, then comes the Vairag, that is detachment, and Gyan, knowledge,
Yeah,
right?
both.
It'll
Yeah.
come automatically when once you are engaged. Right?
Yes. Yes. Once we engage devotional service, the more we engage in devotional service, the more we'll get Jnana and Veda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bhagavatam says that. That's
Yes.
Bhagavatam says, yes. Thank you. So this devotional service, transcendental service, is not subject matter for gross and subtle bodies. So this is pure devotional service because it's on the liberated platform, right? Pure devotional service. So only when one can understand that there is no difference between the Supreme and His name can one be situated in Krishna consciousness. Right now, we are not able to understand it. Theoretically, we may know it, but to actually understand that, oh, Krishna and His name is the same, is the same. So Prabhupada is saying only when one can realize that this is same, then one can be Krishna conscious. So that's a liberated platform. Because only when one is liberated can one understand the nature of the Supreme. At such a time, one no longer needs to make grammatical adjustments. Rather, one becomes more interested in petitioning the Lord. Hare Krishna, oh my Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. Or Caitanya explained. So, yeah, while chanting, this is the prayer, one can keep repeating this prayer. Oh my Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. Lord Chaitanya explained all this to Prakāśānanda Saraswati and told him that he had heard all this from his spiritual master. He further informed Prakāśānanda Saraswati that his spiritual master had taught him that Srimad Bhagavatam is the actual commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Vyasadeva, the author of the Vedanta Sutra. So, people who like to study the Vedanta Sutra should actually study Bhagavatam. Why? Because Vedanta Sutra, the author is who?
Ved Vyas.
That's right.
Mhm.
Vedvyas. He is the author of Vedanta Sutra. And he himself has written a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And what's that commentary?
That even in spite, like he's written, but that pleasure, that joy is not there. That thing, is it that?
So
That
the commentary is Srimad Bhagavatam.
okay.
The natural
Udashi.
commentary, on Vedanta Sutra is written by Vedvyas himself. And that's
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, yeah.
So,
That is when Naraji, right, told him to write. Because after when
that's
he
right.
wrote the Vedanta Sutra, he was not feeling that happy for that, right?
That's right. Yes, that's right. That's right. And so Lord Chaitanya is saying, actually, if one wants to study Vedanta Sutra, one should read the commentary which is written by Vedyas. And that's the Bhagavatam. And then Lord Chaitanya is saying, I heard all about this, about chanting the holy name from my spiritual master. So we can see that he's giving knowledge to Prakāśānanda Saraswati. A student's perfection is to understand the identity of the holy name and the Supreme Lord. A student's perfection is to understand the identity of the holy name and the Supreme Lord. Unless one is under the shelter of a realized spiritual master, his understanding of the Supreme is simply foolishness. However, one can fully understand the transcendental Lord by service and devotion. So, what is the way? How can we actually understand the Supreme Lord?
by devotional service.
That's right.
And
Thank you.
yeah, hearing.
Yeah, Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, I can be known only by devotional service. Yeah, he says that. I can be known only by devotional service. However, one can, yes, when Lord Chaitanya offenselessly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, he declared that the mantra could at once deliver a conditioned soul from material contamination. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative to chanting this Mahamantra. It is said that the essence of all Vedic literature is the chanting of this holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the essence of all Vedas is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So that means one who's chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, he studied all the Vedas because he's engaging in the essence. The Vedas are saying chant. This is the age of Kali, there is no way. Do you know the Sanskrit?
Kali Dosha, Yadi Rajan. Is it from the Bhagavatam?
No, that Hare Nam, Hare Nam. That is another one. But there is this mantra that there is no other way, no other way, no other way except chanting the holy name. This is Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Kevalam.
Kalau Nasti, Kalau Nasti.
That's right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 3 times it said. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. No other way, no other way, no other way than chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in this age of Kali. So, in order to convince me about this essential fact of Vedic knowledge, my spiritual master has taught me a verse from the Brihan Puran. So, this is the verse we were just saying. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam, Kevalam, Kalau Naste Eva Naste, Eva Naste, Eva Gatir Anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Which Puran it's coming from?
From the Brihan Puran.
Yeah, Brihan Puran. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, my Guru taught me, my spiritual master taught me this, that there is no other way for perfection. So just chant the Hare Krishna mantra. In 3 out of the 4 millenniums, namely Satyug, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga, people had the honor to strive to understand transcendence through the path of disciplic succession. But in the present age, due to the influence of Kali, people have no interest in the disciplic succession. Instead, they have invented many paths of logic and argument. This individual attempt to understand the supreme transcendence, called the ascending process, is not the Vedic way. The absolute truth must descend from the absolute platform. He is not to be understood by the ascending process. If we engage our mind that I'm going to use my logic, some mental jugglery, some word jugglery to understand the absolute truth, we will never be able to understand him completely. Our only understanding will come up to that Brahman. We will not be able to go further. But if we really want to understand the absolute truth, we have to hear from him. If I want to know about you, I should ask you. Please, my dear, can you please tell me what's your favorite, whatever I want to know about you? You're the best person to tell me about yourself. So we want to understand the absolute truth. We have to hear from him, what he's speaking. I can speculate, oh, maybe you like this, maybe you like that, maybe you like this. So I can go on speculating like that. Like that, so many people can keep speculating. But the perfect person to know about you is yourself. So the holy name
Hare
of the Lord,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Krishna. Shilpa,
Yes.
what was that that we could pray every day? Dear Krishna, oh energy, is it? That was there in the beginning, before this.
Prabhupada, please engage me in your service. Oh Lord, oh my Lord, Lord, please engage me in your service while chanting. It's a prayer to the Lord, to the energy of
it's
Lord.
a very nice
Service.
energy of the Lord.
Yeah, please engage me in your service. So chanting this Hare Krishna mantra is a call
Very nice.
to be engaged in the service. Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So 3 out of no, we did that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is a transcendental vibration because it comes from the transcendental platform, the supreme abode of Krishna, Golokera Premadana, Hari Nam Sankirtan. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. This Harinam Sankirtan is coming from Golok Vrindavan. It's not a mundane material form. Sound. To us, it sounds material. Why? Because our senses are not purified. But the pure name is coming from Golok. And because there's no difference between Krishna and his name, the holy name of Krishna is as pure, perfect, and liberated as Krishna himself. That's the absolute platform. Academic scholars, relying on logic and argument, have no entrance into the understanding of the transcendental nature of the holy name of God. The single path for understanding the transcendental nature of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, is the chanting of these names with faith and adherence. Such chanting will release one from designated conditions arising from the gross and subtle bodies. So, the taste of the pudding, we want to taste the pudding, eat it. If we keep on speculating, the pudding may be like this, may be like that, we are just keeping on guessing. We really want to really know the taste of the pudding, we just have to eat it. So same with the Hare Krishna mantra. We want to understand, we have to chant. By some mental adjustment, we will not be able to understand it. We just have to chant. Faith and adherence, determination. Just keep on chanting. Everything will be revealed to us. And what happens? What's the result of the chanting? We can give this. We will come to the point Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam. The upadhi. We have many upadhis. I'm a man or a woman. This is my name. This is my country. This is my family. This is my job. This is my children. This is my body. This is my mind. So many upadhis we have, as Prabhupada is saying, arising from gross and material bodies. By chanting, we can be free from these upadhis and we can be situated on the liberated platform. I'm a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. In this age of logical argument, I'm sorry, were you saying something?
No, I said it's very beautifully, said once when you start chanting, it can arise you from this gross and material bodies. Lovely.
Yeah, thank you. That's right. And you actually chanted, right? Because just speculating about it, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In this age of logical argument and disagreement, the chanting of Hare Krishna is the only means for self-realization. So where is this verse coming from? This is the only means for self-realization, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in this age of logical argument and disagreement. Which verse is this?
Is the same, is it Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kala Nashti, Eva Nashti Gati, Anyaha.
Yes, thank you. Same verse. Where is it coming from?
From the Brahad Narad Puran.
Yes, that's right. And because this transcendental vibration alone can deliver the conditioned soul, it is the essence of the Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra is there to give us liberation. No? So the essence of this Vedanta Sutra is to chant the holy name. So according to the material conception, there is a difference between a person himself and his name, form, qualities, emotions, and activities. But as far as this transcendental vibration is concerned, there is no such limitation. Why? For it descends from the spiritual world. In the material platform, we say mango. We are saying mango, but we cannot taste mango. We don't feel nourished. We don't feel full by it. It's just a word we are saying. The word mango and the object mango is different. But on the absolute platform, the name and the person is the same. So Krishna and his name is the same. In the spiritual world, unlike the material world, there's no difference between a person and his name and qualities. Because the Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand this, they cannot utter the transcendental vibration.
Hare Krishna, but even Sri Adi Shankaracharya, no, he also said that Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhajam Mudamate.
That's right. That's right. His final instruction was this.
Was it? Yeah.
Yes, Bhaja Govindam, he says, worship Govinda. But what happens is his followers don't follow his instruction.
Right.
But that's what he wanted. He wanted Bhaja Govinda. Worship Govinda. Yes, thank you. So Lord Chaitanya then told Prakāśānanda Saraswati that because he received the order from his spiritual master, he was constantly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. As a result of this chanting, the Lord said, I sometimes become very impatient and cannot restrain myself from dancing and laughing or crying and singing. Indeed, I become just like a madman. When I first wondered whether I had become mad by chanting this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, I approached my spiritual master and informed him that I had got mad by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thus I asked him, what was my actual position? In the Narad Pancharatra, it is stated, Esho Vedaha Sad Angani Chandamsi Vividasuraha Sarvam Ashtaksharantastham Yakchanyad Apivanvayam Sarva Vedanta Sarartha Samsarar Navataranaha. All Vedic rituals, mantras, and understanding are compressed into the 8 words Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So this is coming in the Narad Pancharatra. Similarly, in the Kali Santara Upanishad, it is stated Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodaksham Namnam Kali Kalmasanashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. The 16 words Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, are especially meant for counteracting the contaminations of Kali. To save oneself from contamination of Kali, there is no alternative to the chanting of these 16 words. So also the Kali Santarana Upanishad is saying that chant the Hare Krishna mantra in this age of Kali. And Narada Pancharatra is saying, Narada Pancharatra is saying that all Vedic rituals, mantras, and understanding are compressed in this Hare Krishna mantra. So that means that's why it said one who's chanting the Hare Krishna mantra means he studied the Vedas, he's done everything. This is what all the Upanishads are telling us, the Pancharatra is telling us. So Lord Chaitanya informed Prakāśānanda Saraswati that when his spiritual master understood him, he said, it is the transcendental nature of the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, to transport a man into spiritual madness Anyone who sincerely chants this holy name is quickly elevated to the platform of love of God and becomes mad after God. This madness arising from love of God is the highest perfectional stage for a human being. So this is the perfection of human life, to become mad in love of God. Now one will say, oh, but I don't want to be mad. What are people going to say? People will say, I've gone mad. I have to be put in mental asylum. But do we realize that right now we are mad after the material energy? We are running behind this. We are so attached to this illusion, to our temporary identity. We don't realize how mad we actually are. And we get scared to be situated in this spiritual madness. So generally, a human being is interested in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. But love of God is above all these. So these are the purusharthas, the four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But the fifth, the highest, is love of God, is beyond all this. A bona fide spiritual master chants the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And the transcendental sound vibration enters the ear of the disciple. And if the disciple follows in the footsteps of his spiritual master and chants the holy name with similar respect, this chanting constitutes worship of the transcendental name. When the transcendental name is worshipped by the devotee, the name himself spreads his glories within the heart of the devotee. It's so beautiful. So Lord Chaitanya is saying one should hear the spiritual master is always chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. It's mentioned a bona fide spiritual master chants the Hare Krishna mantra. Then the bona fide disciple should hear this chanting and should repeat this chanting in the similar respect. And by this, he is worshipping the transcendental name. And by worshipping the transcendental name, the name spreads his glories within the heart of the devotee. When the devotee is perfectly qualified in chanting the transcendental vibration of the holy name, he is quite fit to become a spiritual master and to deliver all the people of the world. So in turn, the disciple, because he's following the spiritual master, he himself becomes a spiritual master. The chanting of the holy name is so powerful that it gradually establishes its supremacy above everything in the world. The devotee who chants it becomes transcendently situated in ecstasy and sometimes laughs, cries, and dances in ecstasy. Sometimes the unintelligent put hindrances in the path of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. But one who is situated on the platform of love of Godhead continues to chant the holy name loudly for the benefit of all concerned. As a result, everyone becomes initiated into the chanting of the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By chanting and hearing the holy names of Krishna, a person can remember the forms and qualities of Krishna. So if we want love of Krishna, which is the goal of life, then easily it can be achieved by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra properly, automatically we will remember Krishna, his form, his qualities, his pastimes. It's automatic. Are there any comments or questions?
No, very beautiful. The thing today's, this last line, by chanting and hearing the holy names, a person can automatically remember the forms and qualities.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you so much for listening and enjoying me. Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Bol.